This time of year, we're always thinking about summer outfits and barbecues and backyard hangouts, but it's also the season of sneezing, watery and itchy eyes, runny noses, and achoo! Yeah, it's allergy season. And if it seems like your allergies are more severe this year, you are not alone. Bryce Wylde is here to explain why. So, Bryce, is it true? Is it worse this season?
More than ever. Unfortunately, it's a doozy. You know, if you've heard this before, you're an allergy sufferer, you know you are. It's going to be a bad season. It seems like we keep hearing this, but this year for two big reasons.
Okay.
Number one, global warming. Seems to be irrefutable. In fact, experts are saying a good 3 to maybe 6 weeks early this year because of rising temps.
That's significant.
The pollens are bursting everywhere. Right now, it's, you know, trees and grasses. And the second reason, it's going to be proven out. It's a little more theoretical, but it seems to be real. And that is that our immune systems are somewhat imbalanced.
Okay.
And so here's the deal. Our immune systems are like a muscle. They need to be worked out. And of course, we've been very, very good about our hygiene, and we've been avoiding the big virus, but we haven't had a lot of the colds and flus that we typically do.
That's true.
And so our immune system's a little bit imbalanced because of that. And what this causes is this sort of teeter-totter Th1, Th2 imbalance in the immune system. And Th2, to get a little technical, this gets sort of depressed in the allergy sufferer, and they can then experience more symptoms. Because of that. So this sort of lack of exposure, and of course we want to maintain our hygiene and do the things we need to do to avoid the big pandemic virus. But at the end of the day, this causes allergy sufferers to probably have a worse year.
It is such a delicate balance. See, like you're not exercising the cold muscle, and now you're taking on more allergies, which is just how nature works,
That's a great way to put it.
So let's talk a little bit about what natural things exist out there for us to deal with allergy season.
Right, so maybe start with diet, nutrition, and there's some things that we want to avoid. So before we talk about those solutions to the problem, let's get rid of, or at least minimize as much as we possibly can, the use of vegetable oils, flour, and sugar in our diets. Why? This simply contributes to the inflammatory process in the body. When inflammation is higher, then your allergies will be worse. Bottom line. And then, you know, we talk a lot when we're on together on Cityline here about what we should be including more in our diet, the brightly colored fruits and vegetables, right? Eat the rainbow fruits and vegetables. There's a huge caveat here, though. When you're an allergy sufferer, you have to know about crossovers. So when you have pollen allergies to grass, or frankly to trees, and that's what's bursting out right now, there are some very otherwise healthy foods that you want to avoid. Okay,
these are avoid.
These are avoid, all right? So pay attention, folks. If you're allergy sufferers and you know that you have grass allergies, you're probably going to have crossovers to citrus fruit, including oranges, tomatoes, peanuts, kiwi, melon, etc. You want to look online. Speak to your allergist about this, by the way, and look at these crossover oral allergy syndrome types of foods. Peanuts, by the way, in this instance, is not the allergy to peanuts. It's the allergy to grasses, and there's that crossover. Now, trees, things like apples, potatoes, celery, carrots, even some herbs like dill and oregano, they cross over with trees. And, of course, nuts. If you're a tree allergy sufferer, you want to avoid certain nuts. I mean, where do they grow in allergies, apples, where do they grow? They grow on trees. And so there's this tremendous crossover. Turns out, though, that the purple variety of the rainbow is probably the most important to keep inflammation down.
Well, it's also the prettiest. What can we do to relieve some of the allergy symptoms if you were getting them? You've tried all this, you're still getting them.
Right, so natural solutions. So this starts really with managing pollen exposure. So you're out and about and you can't help it, you're exposed to. But when you get inside the house, one of the first things you should probably do is make sure you have a shower. Get the pollens off of your hair and skin. And the second thing, and we've heard of this before, the neti pot.
Interesting.
So these
flush it out.
Flush it out. So these are my sinuses here, and they're right between the other side of my nose. So what you're doing with the neti pot with salt and water is you're irrigating up the nose and into the sinuses and out down the other side of the nose, both sides, to get rid of the pollens that are stuck within the nasal cavity. And then you're good to go when you keep, you know, the house real clean. On that note, change the filters, both in your home and as well as so this one here, this one needs to be changed every 3 months. People forget about that. Get one that's allergy clearing in your furnace. And then in the car, when you're in the car, make sure you change that. And if you can, a HEPA filter in your room, Trace. Now, lastly, homeopathic solutions. One of the worst symptoms, I have dust and cat allergies.
Oh, you do?
I have a cat at home. Go figure. But one of the worst things is my eyes.
I feel like I know to solve your problem.
I know. Get rid of. Yeah, my daughter, my kids would kill me.
Don't get rid of the cat.
But the eye, the itchy, scratchy, you know, watery eye. Look for natural products that contain eye bright and sabadilla
Okay.
Amazing. Works immediately without any, you can use it as often as you want to, but without any rebound effect. So a lot of the conventional stuff that you drip in your eyes, you'll have an even worsening effect. You have to kind of use it chronically.
Really good information there. Thank you for that, Bryce.
My pleasure.